Rabbit Benny and the Lost Trust Medal. Just behind the town of Green Hills, where the trees tickled the sky, lay the merry forest. In this forest, everyone knew each other, and everyone helped one another. If you asked who was the fastest in the forest, the answer was clear: Benny the rabbit. Benny ran like the wind. Zoom! One moment he was by the river, the next he was at the top of the hill. Benny was kind-hearted, but he had one very important habit. He would say whatever came into his mind, make lots of promises, but he would forget to keep most of them. For example, once he told Chloe the squirrel, "I promise, tomorrow I will help you carry your walnuts." But the next day, he completely forgot while chasing a butterfly. Or he told Barney the beaver, "I promise, I will bring the strongest logs for your dam," but then he fell asleep. His friends loved Benny, but when they needed him, they would think, I wonder if he will actually come." One day, a great excitement began in the forest. Because the Great Forest Relay Race was going to take place. You couldn't win alone in this race. Teams of 3 had to be formed. One person would run, pass the team stick, baton, to their friend, and then the friend would run. Benny immediately ran to his best friends, Timmy the turtle and Chloe the squirrel. "Hey!" said Benny, hopping up and down. "Let's be a team. I am very fast, we will definitely win." Timmy slowly poked his head out. "I don't know, Benny. Teamwork is as important as speed in this race. We need to practice. Do you promise to wake up early and train with us?" Benny puffed out his chest. "Of course. I promise. I will be here every morning when the sun rises. I will even bring the special red ribbon from my mum for good luck. I promise." Chloe and Timmy looked at each other. Benny seemed very determined. "Okay," they said. "We trust you, Benny." The next morning, as the sun painted the forest in gold, Timmy and Chloe were at the training ground. They waited and waited. The sun rose high. The birds finished their breakfast. But Benny was not there. Chloe said, maybe he couldn't wake up. Just then, Benny arrived with sleepy eyes, holding half a carrot in his mouth. It was already noon. "Oh," said Benny. "I am so sorry. My alarm didn't ring. I mean, it rang but I didn't hear it. But it's no problem, I am already fast. We don't need to practice." Timmy was sad. "But Benny, we needed to practice how to pass the stick from hand to hand. You promised." Benny laughed. "Don't worry, my friends. We will sort it out." Race day arrived. The whole forest had gathered. Oliver the owl was on the judges' podium. The teams took their places. The lion team looked very strong. The frog team was very bouncy. Timmy and Chloe were at the starting line. But something was missing. Benny. There was only 1 minute left before the race started. Chloe looked around anxiously. Where is he? Just as Oliver the owl was about to blow the whistle, Benny appeared, out of breath. "I'm here. I'm here." Chloe immediately asked, "Benny, where is our team's red ribbon?" "We were going to tie it to the stick, That's the rule. Benny patted his pockets. His ears drooped down. He said, his voice trembling. I forgot it on the table at home. I was in a rush this morning. Chloe's shoulders slumped. But you promised, Benny. Judge Oliver called out, if you don't have a ribbon, you have to run with an ordinary stick. But be careful, sticks can be slippery. The race began. Freaked. The first runner was Timmy the turtle. He was slow but very determined. He held the stick tight and reached Chloe. Chloe grabbed the stick and zoomed through the trees like lightning. She was neck and neck with the Lion Team's squirrel. It was time for the last runner, Benny. Chloe approached Benny quickly. Get ready, Benny. Catch, she shouted. If they had practiced, Benny would have known where to stand. But because he didn't come to practice, he was standing in the wrong place. Chloe reached out, Benny reached out. And that slippery stick without a ribbon slipped. The stick spun in the air and plop! It fell right into a muddy puddle. Benny panicked. He tried to bend down and pick up the muddy stick. But the stick was so slippery that he dropped it again. At that moment, the Lion Team zoomed past them. Whoosh! Then the Frog Team. Hop hop! Then the Hedgehog Team. Scuttle scuttle! When Benny finally picked up the stick and started running, the race was already over. The Lion Team had won first place. Benny and his team were last. When Benny crossed the finish line, nobody clapped. There was only silence. Benny went to his friends. Don't be sad, he said, trying to look cheerful. I will run faster next year. I promise, we will win next year. But this time, Timmy and Chloe didn't smile. Timmy retreated into his shell a little. Benny, he said slowly. The problem isn't that we lost. The problem is that you didn't keep your promise. Chloe added, you didn't come in the morning, so we couldn't practice. You didn't bring the ribbon, so the stick slipped. We trusted you, Benny. Trust is more important than the race. Benny understood at that moment. What they had lost wasn't a medal. What they had lost was his friends' belief in him. And this hurt Benny's heart more than losing the race. That evening, Benny went to see Oliver the wise owl. Mr. Oliver, he said sadly. I am very fast, but I upset my friends. I broke their trust. Can broken trust be fixed like a broken toy? Oliver the owl adjusted his glasses. Think of a broken vase, Benny. You can glue it back together, and it will be a vase again. But the cracks will show. It takes a long time and patience for those cracks to disappear. Saying sorry isn't enough. You must show that you keep your word with your actions. Benny nodded. I understand. No more just talking. Only doing. The next morning, Benny woke up before the sun rose. He didn't tell anyone. He went straight to Timmy's garden. He pulled out all the weeds that Timmy had been trying to clear for days but couldn't finish because he was slow. Then he went under Chloe's tree. He carried all the heavy walnuts Chloe had collected for winter up to her nest. When Timmy and Chloe woke up, they couldn't believe their eyes. The garden was spotless. The walnuts were in place. And there was a note in the middle: I didn't promise. I just did it. Benny. From that day on, Benny changed. He didn't say big things like, I promise I will bring the moon, anymore. He said, I will do my best, and he definitely did what he said. If he said, let's meet at 3 o'clock, he was there at 5 minutes to 3. Over time, Timmy and Chloe started to trust Benny again. What happened at the race a year later? Benny was the first person at practice. He had already tied the ribbon around his neck. And that day, they didn't just win the race, Benny won the most valuable medal of his life, the look from his friends that said, we trust you. The end.